Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a first timer here, we do fragrance reviews, lifestyle videos and fashion videos. So please do consider subscribing and staying on this channel. I'd appreciate that. To my loyal returning subscribers and even non-subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I'm here with a fragrance review video for you. I'm quite matchy with my, just noticing it. If you look at that and what's happening on the box, I kind of like, I didn't plan this, but it looks like I matched up with my fragrance, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Okay, anyway, I am here to talk about Asdaaf's Dalia. Asdaaf Dalia. Okay, I saw this box. I blind bought this because they had run out of the tester in the shop where it was. So it was something that I just took a guess and I thought I should, just blind buy it. Okay, so the fragrance we're going to be talking about is this one. Okay, it's 100 ml, very heavy bottle. That's how it looks. Okay, and it's got a tassel. Okay, I don't know why, but it just has a tassel. Okay, now I am going to spray it on my arm, okay, and then I'll tell you what I perceive. Unfortunately, this is one of those that, in fact, Asdaaf doesn't seem to bother, about putting information out there about their fragrances. This is one that does not have, notes listed. So I'm just going to go on what I am, I'm perceiving. And, hopefully I get most of them right. So it's just going to be my nose telling you what I think I smell. And then, that's it, because I couldn't get information about this fragrance at all. But why I'm always happy to bring fragrances like this is, I know it does help a lot of people that want to know about them. So Dalia by Asdaaf is obviously a feminine fragrance. It's based on this box, okay? And then the scent, I get rose, okay? I get like a lot of rose, and then I get a lot of fruits. That, in fact, it's so fruity in the opening. So it opens up with a blast of fruits, okay? But sniffing through, I think these fruits would be I think I smell lychee, okay? I think I also smell some watermelon, if I'm not mistaken. Something in here feels like watermelon, something feels citrusy as well. But definitely I think I can perceive some lychee, definitely lychee, some red currant, some vanilla. Okay, it's just like I said, if you are gonna buy this fragrance, I would rather you listen more to the review than the notes, because there is absolutely nothing flying out there. But I can almost hand on heart say I feel something here smells like lychee, maybe a bit of some rhubarb as well, something along those lines. So like I said, it does open with like a fruity blast, okay, and a tropical vibe. That's what you get in the opening, okay? And then that watermelony kind of lychee thing kind of lingers on there, which it pops out of those tropical notes. Because obviously when I say tropical, I'm talking about a mixture of a lot of fruits, but then that kind of, lychee, watermelon thing pierces through, okay, that it kind of, you can kind of smell it, like it's saying, I'm here, okay? Now, at this point, it does feel gourmandish, okay? It feels really gourmandish, like something you would drink. That's what it feels, or like some fruit you've eaten, or not some fruit rather, but like some sweets. It does feel a bit jammy somewhere there, okay, a bit so sweet, okay, like something that feels really like candy like, okay. Now 20 minutes into the fragrance, not necessarily 20 minutes here, I'm now talking about having used it before. 20 minutes in, rose starts to surface, okay? You get something that feels like a rose starts to rise there, but it's carried by like something that feels like a lot of patchouli, okay? A lot of patchouli comes through here, okay? And then this rosy thing feels also a bit minty, I'm just talking about what I can sniff here. It feels a bit minty, piercing, kind of spicy, okay? That's what you get after the 20 minutes, okay? Then within that 20 minutes and the 30 minutes, these fruits start to like, tone down. At that point, I just wish the fruits, would have held on longer. Not that they go, but they do start to kind of tone down almost immediately, giving way to that rose. But at the same time, the rose here does feel like, it's a light rose. It's not like a thick rose. So it's not enough, of course, to make this too piercingly rose. But the way the fruits just kind of give way to me is a bit disappointing, okay? Because That's the part I would have preferred, that, this fragrance, I would have preferred that the fruitiness of this fragrance becomes, like the top, the mid, and the base. But the fruitiness, the fruits starts to fade. So if you've got this fragrance, you probably know what I'm talking about. Or if you're going to buy it, you get that moment where, you get that, oh, wow, in the opening. And then after about 20-30 minutes, it starts to take like a different turn altogether, okay? Now that shy rose, like again I said, it carries a little bit of some greenness, not enough to call this a green fragrance. It's not at all a green, really like super green fragrance, but it carries just a tad bit of some green, okay, and just a tad bit of some freshness. So this is not a freshie. I wouldn't call it a green fragrance either, but because of that minty feel that comes through there, I cannot just ignore that it does have just a touch of, that greenness there, okay? It does have a bit of some depth, but I don't think it's got the depth that's enough to carry it through as a winter scent. So I'd say this would be more ideal as a summer scent, okay? Or I don't think this would do so well in terms of performance, in cold weather. I think it's a fragrance that will just get lost along the way, somewhere thereabout, okay? It is also your kind of like everyday, an easy reach kind of fragrance. And like I said, it is a floral as well. However, it's not your everyday kind of insulting, floral, like your kind of, boring white floral. It's not like that. It's got a bit of some oomph to it. So it's not your basic white floral that you've used, so many times, or that you've smelled so many times. However, it's not going to be unique either. So it's not going to be like, oh, wow, I've never smelled this all my life. But it's not going to feel like every other fragrance that you come across somebody wearing every day, okay? So, that kind of thing, okay? So, and then the other thing that I just did not like about this fragrance is the dry down. I found that the dry down was all over the place. Like I said, they did put those loads, that punch of fruit, which if it had stuck to that, okay, if it had stuck to that fruity feel, that lychee, or if it had held on to that lychee, the strawberry, or something that feels like watermelon, I think they would have nailed this. But the problem is when that flower comes in, that rose, it kind of then, the fragrance just, kind of goes all over the place, okay? It gets like a push and pull between the rose and these fruits, okay? Maybe it just doesn't have enough rose in it. I don't know. Maybe the fruits just disappear, or rather maybe the fruits get defeated so much by this rose. I don't know, but something is like it pulls apart, and then it has this this powdery dry down, like, you also get, to feel a little powderiness there, okay? So definitely, like I said, not, your there we go again, but at the same time, not super unique, because I when I sprayed this, I knew I kind of had smelled this before. It does carry those vibes that are, in that Very Good Girl. It does have that sweet, that jammy sweetness to it, or is it, what you call that one? I'm Choo, or Jimmy Choo, I'm Choo, or something like that. But no, they're not similar. Okay. Now, and then it is really crowd pleasing. Now, I know that the moment a lot of people wait for is, what does it clone? Unfortunately, when I purchased it, I was hoping, or I was guessing it would be in line with, Dalia, because of the pinkness and that tassel, and Dalia, really. Dalia, I don't know what Dalia means. So I just thought maybe it's suggestive of, how it would be similar to Dalia, but I don't know. I don't think so. If that's what they were going for, I think they came up with a different thing altogether. It's not along them lines, but you will get that, that kind of, Very Good Girl is a Very Good Girl, I Am Choo, or something like that. That sweet concoction of fruits in there, you will get it, okay? Something that feels a bit rhubarby, you will get it. But the problem with this fragrance is it doesn't hold it for so long. So it becomes a fragrance that is saying too much without necessarily giving you what it stands for, okay? yeah, basically, unless somebody else can smell it differently, that's what I smell. I smell a fragrance that had it just stuck to, how it felt in the opening and carried it through, okay? Or it could have stuck to that and then incorporated every other note without necessarily having other, these other ones kind of like going away quickly. I think it would have been perfect. Do I regret buying this? No, definitely not. I think it's a fragrance that I will use, I'll finish the full bottle, but in terms of what I would have wanted it to be, I don't think it's a fragrance that I'll, quickly go out there and try to get a backup or something. For gifting, it's perfect. I see this being a fragrance that a lot of people would appreciate. I think it's like your easy rich kind of fragrance. It is a fragrance that will appeal to a lot of women. Okay, it's a fragrance that I see, a fashion forward person liking. I think it's a beautiful fragrance overall. But the problem is, if you are like myself and you're into fragrances and you are quite critical, you will get to this part that I'm talking about where it kind of gets all over the place, and you then wonder, what is it trying to do? But if you are just smelling this as a fragrance and you really don't care, I think it's just one of those fragrances that will have a really good nod. Okay. If you're going to buy this hoping to get your Dalia Sedley, that's not what you're going to get. I'm not claiming that's what they were going for, but I'm just saying it's easy, for people to do a mental shortcut, considering most of the Middle Eastern fragrances are cloning one thing or the other. So a lot of people might just look at the box and think, oh, Dalia must be Dalia and it's got that tassel. No, don't go for it hoping for that. Go for it hoping for a sweet, your sweet, juicy, fruity, tropical, floral, with that rose there, with a dry down that's powdery and stuff like that. It is quite active for about 2 hours, and then the lasting power is about 5 hours. Like I said, active for about 2 hours. You will smell this depending on how much you spray. Okay, it's a fragrance that I like. Headache inducing? No, I didn't get a headache off this, but it is really on the sweet side. With that sweetness that kind of like feels like La Vie Belle. That sweetness in La Vie Belle, not that it's La Vie Belle, but I'm saying it's got that sweetness, on the same level as La Vie Belle, but it does have that feel, that fruit that feels like lychee, feels like a red currant, something that feels, like a really red, fruit there. But I'm leaning more towards lychee, watermelon, strawberry kind of thing, a concoction of that, making it really, really juicy, but at the same time, just the dry down is what disappoints me about this one. Dalia by, Asdaaf is what I had for you today. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Please do turn on post notifications so that you're notified anytime I upload a video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like this video if you like it. Share it if you want to share it. And remember, smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.